I thought I had longer on that track. Sure. It just decided to suddenly cut out at the last minute there. Also, what is it with Pretzel Rocks has just decided that music for Nina was the only thing it was going to play for like a good while back then. Okay, give me a sec. I hadn't quite finished pouring my drink yet. Alright then. So, I'm going to own this out the gate. You can blame Brett for this one. Because after we finished The Upturned the other night, finished streaming it anyway, then I raided over onto him, and I did not realize that a difficult game about climbing had actually come out. And thanks to him, I now know that it has come out. I have bought it. And so, let us embrace, once again, Ed's rather strange habit of playing a rage game to relax. We're going to throw on the Journey OST. The slowest and most boring OST I can think of right now. And let us begin climbing. I've played none of this game thus far. I don't particularly know. Yeah, okay, so it works similarly to thank you, Rodimus, for immediately ruining it. Okay, so his weight is interesting in the way he moves. Gotcha. Yeah, figured as much. Rest. Oh, grab the wheel. There we go. So, yeah. I am one of the strange fucks who tends to play games like this to unwind. And I do not know why. I find it pleasant. I stick on a relaxing soundtrack. And we just sort of vibe with it. I don't know what specifically it is about games about failure that does that. I think it's because it reminds me that we all fail. Have I gone back on myself? I think I might have. That's okay. Yeah, there we go. Is the game playing its own music? No, it isn't. Okay. Just checking. Pixel Brain, thank you very much for joining, pal. Welcome aboard. I understand you've chosen a rather strange thing to join onto, but I hope you enjoy it. So, the important thing we need to know now is that occasionally... Yeah, he will slide. Okay. So we need to always make sure that we've got a good grip on things before we start moving. But yeah, thought this would be a nice little bit of time on a Tuesday. How are we all doing? We doing good? We having a nice middle of the week? Meditation and relaxation? No. There you go. There you go. Doing good, cleaning up a Space Marine plane. Ooh, lovely. Samantha, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Hopefully you find a way to warm up soon. I think I needed a chill stream to calm my mind down. Well, hopefully we can help with that. We got some relaxing jams. We got a relaxing game. We're doing okay. As far as I understand, this is not from Bennett Foddy. This is basically a tribute act from a completely different developer. There we go. That's not gonna hold. There we go. Just keeping it nice and relaxed. Because everybody fails sometimes. That's okay. Sometimes you just got a Bob Ross a rage game. I got laid off yesterday and I'm just trying to clear my mind by watching games, drinking and making new friends. I'm really sorry to hear that, Pixel Brained. I hope it picks up for you soon. Wishing you the best. It's... As I think I've annoyed chat no end by constantly repeating, it's the apocalypse out there. All the best of luck to you. And hopefully... Hopefully the vibes of just continuing in the face of inevitably falling off the mountain will be helpful. I've found the new Power Wash 40k DLC has given me more knowledge about individual parts of rhinos, dreadnoughts, imperial tanks, Lehman Russ tanks and Space Marine planes. Therefore, I now know more of the individual parts of plastic war vehicles. Happy for you, Captain Manslaughter. Happy for you. I feel like this sign is trying to trick me. Let's explore. Aha. There we are. Oh dear. It appears the video in the other corner of the Journey OST is bugged out slightly. Everything's now a sequence of purple squares. Not exactly ideal. I don't think we'll be... No, we won't be able to reach that. Okay. Let's get higher up. Grace and elegance. A good swinging motion. And fall straight off, of course. But that's fine. We know how to get up there. We can do it again. from the end of the world. Plenty more mountain to go. What other games do you like to stream? It's kind of really whatever comes to mind. I've been playing a little bit of Upturned recently. That's pretty much what actually ended up with us here. Was the person I raided after playing Upturned was playing this, and reminded me it had actually come out. I don't tend to, if in terms of genre, I definitely don't tend to be of the sort of multiplayer bent. I know there's quite a lot of streamers already do that kind of business. Don't tend to be of the survival crafting bent. Mostly is like kind of narrative games-ish. That's not going to take. No, didn't think so. Going for it. There we go. So, like Western RPGs, JRPGs. I do like Souls-likes, though. That is my usual off-hours. My usual off-hours haunt is some form of Souls-like. A little bit of The Surge here, a little bit of Elden Ring there. That kind of stuff. A lot of the time it is whatever comes to mind, really, though. And sometimes trying to break out of comforts a little bit with the odd strangeness. Just for the heck of it. Sometimes I'll just come across something that is particularly weird, and I think it's worth showing off to folks. Maze was definitely one of those. How was the Upturned? I missed the stream for once getting a friend into Warframe again. Oh, I need to get into Warframe. That was always a good time. I'm glad you had fun, though, next decade. No. Okay. So we need to figure out how to sort of fling him sideways. Have you played Pinocchio Souls game? Lies of P. Yes, I loved Lies of P. Lies of P was a great one. Best time to get into Warframe. It's never been in as good a position. That's what everyone says about Warframe all the time, though. Warframe never seems to have been in as best a position as it is now anytime. That's because digital extremes are amazing, people. Most of the time. I mean, every dev's got their wobbles, but majority of the time they're doing good. Wonder would the sequel to Lies of P be Lies of P2 or Lies of PP? Okay, this is the same problem as I remember seeing with I went to watch what was it? It was Godzilla Minus One. That was it. I went to see Godzilla Minus One a while back with my friend James, and we raised a good question because some lad was coming out of the cinema and he said, "Oh, like there's definitely going to be a sequel," and yeah, no doubt in anyone's mind there's going to be a sequel. But what the hell is it going to be called? Is it going to be called Godzilla Minus 2? That can't make sense, because that's going backwards further. So, okay, you've got to go forwards, but you can't go Godzilla 0. So, Godzilla minus 0.5? I always love it when people name a product with no intention of making a second one, and then they suddenly are expected to come up with a title for the second one. Interesting. You can fall straight off of those. Okay. Alright. That's fine. We can work with that. I do love that as long as it's a straight line, you can basically just make him zoom up by just gripping more and more and more. It makes no sense how he's doing that, but sure. He's not even doing pull-ups at that point, he's doing finger-ups. Godzilla divided by 3. Ooh. That's an option. Although that does sound like the main villain would be 3 very small Godzillas then. Oh, carefully. There we go. Or King Ghidorah. True, but that would then be King Ghidorah. Rather than Godzilla divided by 3. I love good old King Ghidorah. Dude could win American Ninja Warrior all day, every day with these arms. He really could. Like, I must admit, I do love this weird subgenre of bald guy climbs mountain. In impractical ways. Okay. So, we did manage this last time, but how do we... I'm going to need to learn how to jump sideways at some point, so I might as well learn now. Ooh, okay. That wasn't very clean, but that was kind of a cartwheel. We can work with it. Because we basically got to do the same again here. No. It's too small a jump. Too small a gap, rather. Okay. Well, let's grab ourselves a slice of toast. And it's all fine. Because we all fail sometimes, it's fine. Just keep going. I think I said about it recently, but Mum and I recently watched Aquaman 2. Terrible film. Terrible film. But she likes Jason Momoa, so. But one of the things they do say in that is good. Jason's asking his dad, how did you raise me all by yourself, etc. And his dad just says, I just kept going. And I think that's all you need sometimes. You don't need a magical technique. You don't need the willpower and just, you know, all of this sort of I stayed motivated and I believed. Sometimes, even if you aren't motivated, sometimes, even if it really is crap, just keeping going is all you need. Because it ends, this too will pass. Even this. I'm absolutely crap at this. No question whatsoever. But that's fine. Because I'm keeping going. Eventually, the stream will end. I'll put the game down, never come back to it. Probably. Then in a few years, maybe I will come back to it. Maybe I'll be better at it. Maybe I'll be worse. We'll just keep going. And keep going. If it's how I beat Enter the Gungeon, it can work here. Didn't get the angle right. Also, before anybody of the regular chatters asks, yes, I will be doing Kingdoms of Amalur eventually. I'm just doing a few in the middle just to palate cleanse, you know? Been a busy few months. Oh, okay. Is that 3 clicks of one will make him drop the other hand, I wonder? Yes. Every time one of his hands pulses, his other hand loses some grip. Gotcha. Does anybody remember the days when Ninja Sex Party used to have a puppet version of Danny? Rather, a mannequin version of Danny. Sometimes this guy moves a little bit like that, just sort of flopping around. Need momentum to be able to swing. Okay, that's fine. This movement. This looks like mannequin Danny being thrown around in an old music video. There we go. I'm starting to find the soundtrack is a little bit energetic, though. Apologies for that. I always think of Journey as a really, really slow, kind of dullish soundtrack. That's just kind of ambiance and there. Once I find somewhere to rest, I might throw on Abzu's soundtrack, since that's basically Journey in water. How is this Benny Foddick game? Is it done by him? No. This is the Foddy equivalent of a Souls-like. Fod-esque. Basically, a developer got really grumpy that there was no sort of explosion of Foddy likes. After getting over it did the rounds. So they made their own. Which I think is honestly really inspirational. They became the change they wanted to see. Alright. Okay. So how to do this? Maybe we're approaching this wrong. Maybe we need to be lower. Maybe I'm going about this completely wrong. Or not. Okay. We want to get somewhere with decent height. And now we practice Tai Chi. Let it out slowly and breathe. Bring it in. Harness your chi. Love the rock. Caress the rock. Be the person that goes through this type of game in a full-on Zen calm. I'm assuming you missed the last time I did this, which is fair. It was a long, long time ago, many years. Yes, I play these sorts of games to relax. They quiet my mind for some reason. I think probably because it's problem solving through repetition, law of averages, and monkey typewritering this shit. But yeah, for some reason, I find them very therapeutic. So I thought this would be a nice Ed off hours. Nope. Chows like chows, I guess. I wouldn't know. I've never played Sonic, I'm afraid. But Daniel Kajim, thank you very much for stopping by. I recognize the name. I don't think I've seen you in a while. Nice to see you again. Nope. There we go. I do have to wonder, is this a... I guess it's like a portable gasoline canister, etc. I'm just not sure why it looks like a portaloo. Most of the time I lurk. Ah, that would be it. The old and venerable tradition of lurking. I understand. I've lurked in many a chat myself. Okay. So, let's try and review. We're not going to be able to reach it like that. So we would need to swing. But every time I try to swing, I end up practically plummeting. If we go higher, we go left. Which means that we end up plummeting in a different way. I can't move or pivot the camera to see if I'm even going the right way. Is this the Journey OST? It is the Journey OST, mostly because I can't figure out how to... Next time we fall, I'll be switching it. It got a bit excitable for me. Nice. Work to cancel the momentum. Oh, okay. That grip will not stand. We're not going to bother with that one. There we go. Never mind. Really enjoy your voice. I like to hear you while I'm doing work or when I'm doing chores. That's really sweet of you. Thank you, Daniel. Let's switch over the soundtrack though, because this is starting to get a little bit dour. Abzu, which is apparently Journey in Water. Let's find out. I mean, we're not quite having a journey in water. We're just having a journey above water. Sometimes we're above water, sometimes we're below it. And that's okay. This too shall pass. I've seen many a thumbnail with that skull design saying this game is impossible and citing that specific jump. And we've managed it. We've managed it once, we can manage it again. What I sadly can't manage is to not chew all my own words, but we'll get there. Too low. There we go. I've never really been one to try climbing myself, but I do sort of understand the appeal. Not this kind of climbing, understandably, but like real world climbing. Not quite. Do you think that Vincent became interested in climbing? I don't think so. I think he was just happy to return to his normal life. And that's okay. It depends what normal life is, obviously depending on what ending you take. Some endings he ends up as king of hell, some endings he ends up in space. Some endings he's the music producer to an alien. And some endings he's just really not very happy. When it has that note of I keep expecting to hear which I want to say is Tomb Raider's mansion theme. Proper Tomb Raider, not whatever they did with the reboot. Remoot? I mean, it's a reboot that in itself is moot. So yes, a remoot. No. I lose his arms. How do we go about this? Sounds more like the Close Encounters theme to me. It could be notes of all of them. I mean, I was recently playing Jonathan Young's song Nightmare Weaver to my mum recently. And she pointed out that basically the chorus is nicked almost directly from the chord progression anyway. Almost directly from In the Dark of the Night from Anastasia. And I can't unhear it now. My connection is so bad I've put it in audio only mode. Nothing to apologize for there, Rocket. You're going about your life. It's the middle of a Tuesday. I'm not expecting people to give this all their attention. I mean, really, what is there to pay attention to? A man ineptly swimming? A man ineptly climbing? A man ineptly narrating a man ineptly climbing? Whatever this is. Ronnie James Dio's song Holy Diver. I want to say... I don't know much of that kind of music, but I'm assuming that's the Oh Holy Diver. That one. There's a certain like subgenre of rock songs which all sound very similar. And almost all seem to involve the terminology in the midnight hour. The DLC for Elden Ring looks very fun. I don't... Have they released more on it? As far as I know, there's only the one trailer still. If there is more, do let me know. I need to go look it up. Why am I doing this with my right hand, not my left? There we go. You need to get to the strange arm in the egg to get to the new place. Oh, everyone already knew that. It was always going to be that one. No, Miquella's arm is just too notable and weird. That's the thing, though. Every time I fling him like that, he cartwheels. I don't know how I got over there last time. That's the only problem. I didn't memorize where I was when I did it. I think I did something akin to that, but I'm not sure. Gonna do a quick investigation since I have technically done it. I just want to know how I did it again. What's the game called? Difficult game about climbing. There we go. That specific jump. Where is he jumping from? Ah, okay. It seems I've accidentally done a technique I wasn't aware of. The horizontal jumping. Let's test this in a safe environment. Since this is a safe place. Okay. So one typically would hold the left hand and jump with the right, or vice versa. Ah, planking. Yes, yes, Lydia, planking. Which seems to have disappeared. Maybe I'm just being an old fuddy about this, but there was a time when planking was like all over the place, and it just seems to have vanished now. That and owling. Although owling was never as impressive as planking, to me. You had people planking on moving ski lifts, whereas that owling is kind of just sitting weird. Then there was Batmaning, which was hanging off of a doorway. With Kingdoms, will you be remaking your Chara? Yes, I will. Because I do not remember where we were in Kingdoms of Amalur, so I kind of need to restart. Get a new grip on the plot and all that business. Not enough momentum. Okay, how's he pulling out? Stretch, back, stretch again. That's where I've been going wrong. No harm in learning a technique from somebody else. So instead of going like in one motion like that, I need to stretch, back across, and stretch again. Detriax, how you doing, pal? Oh dear, this game. Not in the expected way, though. Because I think we already established to your satisfaction, Detriax, that I am a weirdo. This is a slightly deeper level of weirdo for me, which doesn't turn up too often, but I like these kind of games for relaxation. I find them calming. Now you've made me think about it, almost all of my games have calm moments but aren't calm by default. The exceptions being Factorio, Spiritfarer, Outer Wilds, and if you want to stretch the definition, Dredge. I will definitely stretch the definition for Dredge. The wholesome boaty game that I played for a good, what was it, 3 or so hours before actually embracing the Eldritch fishing. I didn't realize until I played Dredge that I actually kind of dug a fishing game. I cannot even fathom how this game works. Okay, so left thumbstick, left arm, right thumbstick, right arm, left trigger, grip with left arm, right trigger, grip with right arm. That's basically it. And then the rest of it is just a physics engine. Are there like specific places you can grab? You can't grab this green rock because it's wet and you will slide off. I once did a video of getting over it and I expected to rage at it. Instead, I went on about 3 hours rambling about life. Yep. Okay, so Lydia's in the same sort of boat as me then. Where rage games create a strange meditative quality. Ah, that was my fault. Stay still too long. That's fine. We can do it. Grab another slice of toast. And even if we don't do it, it's alright. Video game. Although, Abzu's getting a bit big for its boots as well. Let's see. Someone said Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus, quiet instrumental theme mix. There we go. It's one of my favourite games of all time. Might as well put it on. Still need to play Shadow of the Colossus. I need to play the remake they made. I played the original to death. And now, since I have me PS4, which I got exclusively for Bloodborne, because goddammit, FromSoft are trying to keep the games away from me, then now, along with that, I bought the remake of Shadow, so I can play that again. I can play it in nice graphics. I say I bought the remake of Shadow as if it's Shadow the Hedgehog. I get the feeling that Shadow the Hedgehog's game price is going to rocket up when the third movie comes out. Because, yes, obviously it's going to be based on Sonic Adventure 2. And definitely the price of that will rocket. But I think Shadow in general will also go up. Because people will be reminded that he can sometimes be alright. Not every time. Sometimes he's a little edgelord. A hedgy. But, sometimes he can be good. Right, stretch. Ride the momentum. Okay. Practice Tai Chi. No. Okay. But we can do it. It's a working technique. And if we don't, oh well. In which case, I still got to hang out. Still got to hang out with nice folk. Okay, let's ride the train. Anybody seen any good movies they want to talk about recently? Not Godzilla -1. We've already kind of covered that. I saw Full Metal Jacket. Oh! I keep hearing about that. It's kind of one of those legendary films. Is it any good? I mean, not really a movie, but I watched the entirety of One Punch Man recently. I've still only seen season 1 of One Punch Man, but that is 100% one of my favorites. The way it decided to play with and explore the idea of what do you do when the protagonist doesn't have to struggle to beat the boss. Lovely. How was season 2? Because I know they changed animation studio. Protagonist always on some side adventure that... Yes. He's usually out shopping or something right up until the last minute. I do appreciate that they actually brought that to bear in the game as well. Like, the fighting game based on the One Punch Man universe. You can have Saitama on your team, but he isn't a member of your team for like a good 3 or so minutes of the fight because he's on his way. If you can survive until Saitama does show up, then you have him as an active party member and he can kick ass. But it's a question of, like, you've changed playstyle now out for surviving rather than fighting your opponent directly. It's a nice little touch. Works well with the source material. Want to watch more? Robin Hood Men in Tights. I will confess, Aaron had to drag me through Robin Hood Men in Tights, but I'm very glad that he did. Even if it's solely for Carrie Always just turning to the camera with, because unlike certain other Robin Hoods, I am capable of an English accent. Although, I will say, even Carrie Elwes, Robin Hood Men in Tights does not have the glory that is Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham. I'm gonna kill him with a spoon. But sir, why a spoon? Because it's blunt and it'll hurt more. Which, honestly, as an exchange, feels like it should have been in Men in Tights. Now, hang on a minute, I'm losing grip. Okay. Up to the side. Across. Back. Well, not to sound like a high schooler, but I touched it for a second. Favorite Mel Brooks movie is Young Frankenstein. Ah, Sorvax. You are one of taste. Nobody remembers Young Frankenstein. Which is sad, because out of the Mel Brooks canon, it is damn good. Blazing Saddles is obviously excellent, but it's kind of the big and famous brother. Whereas Young Frankenstein is just great. What type of brain is it? Abby normal. You let me put an abnormal brain in the body of a 7-foot gorilla? Just Gene Wilder at his absolute best madman impression other than Willy Wonka. I'd still say Willy is his best mad. But Young Frankenstein comes very close. Last one I watched was Sinbad, Legend of the Seven. Oh no, I've invoked him. Sorry, the timing of bloody mentioning Sinbad for the first time in years, and the music just picks up. That was indeed a drop, Detriax, indeed. Anything with Victor Price, and then someone lower mentioning Vincent Price. Mint, did you mean Vincent Price, or is Victor Price a separate person? Oh, almost. Movie. Oh no, wait, no, Alexandrios. Hot Fuzz is a good film. Hot Fuzz is a very quality movie. Also, I have to say, it came to my attention recently. There's a really adorable video of Simon Pegg, modern day Simon Pegg, in the same village where they filmed Shaun of the Dead. And since he's there, he reenacts the long walk to the shop that was all done as one take originally, etc. And he does everything exactly the same. He does his little trip in the same place, all while giving a completely new and separate monologue about how he has no idea what to film while he's in this village. Which is adorable. A lot of actors lose their way over time, and that's kind of understandable once you get to a certain size. But I love it when the little moments of who they used to be shine through. He'll always be Sergeant Nicholas Angel to me. That and Scotty. Somehow Simon Pegg ended up as a good Scotty. We'll get him next time indeed. Attack of the Killer Tomato. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I'm sorry. I mean, unquestionably a movie. Definitely sounds like one, but what? Phoenix Raider Ed, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I am currently restricted to only seeing the restream version of Twitch chat, annoyingly. So not every message is making its way through to me. But we're trying our best. Breathe. Oh, come now, come now. A man had it in hand. Victory so rudely snatched from us. Shadow of the Colossus, are you feeling okay? Hello? I don't feel this qualifies as quiet instrumental theme, Shadow of the Colossus. Dark Rays, whenever I hear of movies that you guys enjoyed and I never watched, it makes me want to check them out. And then another question pops up. Should I watch the English version or try and find the localized version in Italian? I mean, a lot of the time, people will enjoy a movie for one of two things. They'll either enjoy it for the performance or they'll enjoy it for the writing and the story. The performance, yeah, the localized version can sometimes lose a little. The writing and the story-based ones, though, I don't think they can necessarily lose too much, unless it's the Singapore dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! If it's the Singapore dub of Yu-Gi-Oh!, then yeah, probably you're better off with any other version. Howard the Duck. I confess I'm not familiar with Howard the Duck in Italian. I was unable to deal with Howard the Duck in American. Maybe I could deal with him in Italian. That's fair. Stop panicking. Just breathe. There we go. Does it count as a movie if it's a 2-hour compilation of a man's Factorio challenge run? I would classify those as modern movies as well, to some degree, yes. They are the same sort of time investment, often come with similar narrative, but I'd argue they're a movie in the same sense a documentary is a movie. These controls do like to get away from you. There we go. And hey, we're in new territory. It took us a while, but it too passed. If we're pulling Miyazaki movies, I'm going to throw in the Castle of Cagliostro. Ooh. This game would make me rage quit. That's fair, Ruby. Entirely fair. A lot of people don't like seeing their progress deleted. Or rendered. That waterfall is really loud. Not rendered a very loud waterfall. Ignore that bit. Ah. Oh, I was never meant to make that jump. I was meant to start from here. Is this a check? Hold on. Is this a checkpoint? That's quite nice. You know what? Let's have a rest here for a second. Let's just wave our hands in the air like we just don't care. And do whatever this is for a moment. Just splish splash, have a bath, and make our own fun. And while we're here, we praise the sun. Have another slice of toast.
I love you.
Bits for the Ed for I have eaten birthday waffles and feeling good.
Hey! Lord Cupson, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to you. I'm not singing it. You're not getting me to sing. But I'm glad to hear the birthday waffles have come through. 07s and happy birthdays for Lord Cupson in chat if you feel like it. Thank you for the 100 bits. I myself am having a slice of toast. Ever saw the movie MASH? No. I've not seen MASH before. I'm presuming it's about the invention of a potato dish. Get a good hold of that bush. There we go. I feel I've gone the wrong way. Hold on. Have I? No, I don't believe so. Mobile Army Surgeon Hospital is what MASH is an acronym for. Ah, I see. Well, given that basically everybody in chat seems to know about it except me, I take it it's good then. Interesting, that shouldn't be a grip part. No, that's not a grip. There we go. Never watched it, but it's one of the pieces of media that's ingrained in culture. Ah, that'd probably be indeed why I've missed it then. There's a lot of history that's just missed me. To the point where I even wanted to cover that once as a little sort of explorative series of just mostly game centric, but just like significant pieces of the history of the medium that just sort of missed me completely. That's not happening. Okay. Let ourselves just breathe. Have a bit of rest on this rock. Practice Tai Chi. There we go. Sometimes all you need is a little rest. Time to think and review the situation. Okay, that's fine. We can work with it. Pretty sure if you tried a project like that, it'd be several hours long, even when summarized. That's fair. That's entirely fair. It'd still be something. Something to say I was here. I was on this rock for a time. Not this literal rock, I should stress. I mean metaphorical rock. Well, no, I do mean literal rock as well, but not this literal rock. Rock of Earth. Rock of Ages. My class is starting soon, but wish you luck on the climb. Thank you very much, Bargain Bin Cryptid. Thank you. Grab. There we go. Practice Tai Chi. Amazing how many scenarios in this game can be solved by practicing Tai Chi. That's not a good enough grip. That's a better grip. And sometimes it's okay to try again. Sometimes it's okay to need that. Thank you, by the way, to the 23 people still here. I understand this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, just ineptly Bob Rossing a rage game. I'm not good at the rage game nor the Bob Rossing, but thanks for sticking by. Means a lot that you're here. Does that mean you're Bob Gaming or Rage Rossing? I want to say that Rage Rossing was already a thing, wasn't it? One of Rooster Teeth's things? No, that was Michael. Ross was Game Grumps, that was it. And being fair with the way they treated him sometimes, if anybody had reason to rage, it would be Ross. Say nothing of the way life treated him in general. And then he seemed to end up as like a... He seems to have sort of pivoted from animation to like character design, I think. I seem to recall. He designed a few of the folk in Monster Prom, I know that. I'm happy that Ross managed to find a solid niche for himself. Oh, indeed. Like, definitely having been one of the loud people about how generally buggered the YouTube animation scape was. It's always nice to see some of them land on their feet. Movie that is way better in Italian than English. The Star Wars prequels. Particularly the Anakin screaming, "I hate you." Huh. Nowadays he does a lot of, "I hired a bunch of pro animators to co-op animate stupid bullshit in a co-op drawing game." Ah, right. So, kind of like the... This is horrible to say, but the sort of animation equivalent of a Mr. Beast video. I hired a bunch of X to do Y silly thing. That's fair. Well, as long as he's happy, and as long as they're all happy. And, hey, animators are getting paid. It's always a good thing. Except he's one of them as well. Oh, of course. I was never expecting Ross was not going to be one of them. He's never going to take the opportunity to not flex. This bloomin' bush. Wait, can I just grab the rock? No. There we go. Of course. That's fine. We can work around it. I'm starting to wonder, though, if this penchant for playing failure rage games to relax might explain a little bit of my behavior when it comes to playing more ordinary games. And how I'm quite happy to just repeat a particular pathway until it lands right. Where am I even going? Let's stretch this up. Okay, so we mostly need to be going left. Lily Abaddon, thank you very much for the resub, pal. 6 months now, good lord. It was a very short time ago you showed up. Ah, okay, so I need to go up and then sideways. That's a good grip. There we go. Interesting. Never mind. Life sadly gave me more stuff to do. Y'all keep chilling and have a nice day. We absolutely will. We've got toast. We've got a relaxing game. Relaxing soundtracks. We're set. And we can practice Tai Chi. It's been 6 months already. How fun. Hey, there's no need to be sarcastic, Lily. It can't be all fun all the time. That's just life. Love you people too. Wasn't I genuinely have fun on your stream? Okay, sorry, that's my case of resting bitch voice. I accuse people of being sarcastic whenever they're being nice. It's just an autopilot reaction. Because it's very easy to deliberately misinterpret text as being sarcastic. So it's a very easy compliment deflection system. But thank you for your time, sincerely. And your support. I sincerely wouldn't be here without you guys. In specifically, I would not be here at 4:23 on a Tuesday doing this of all things. At least live. I probably would still be doing this of all things normally. But I would at least be doing this after having cleared my work and cleared my desk for the day and kind of just waiting for the end of time. Whereas here, we've got all the time we want. Random tangent, one of the Roman legions of ancient times had a feral hog, their emblem that they put on their shields. Interesting, okay. Also, God bless you, Rocket, and your fantastic ability to come at us with random army trivia whenever we need it. Be it the army that you're painting, some rando army. You've really put that niche interest to harnessed good use. Oh no. I know this is sudden, but here's a piece of Roman Legion trivia. And that was the Roman Legion trivia for tonight. Slide sideways. Nope. I must admit, from a gameplay perspective, I do understand it, but from a physics perspective, I'm not certain why gripping with one of his hands ungrips his other hand. We have reached the end of the Shadow of the Colossus soundtrack. Okay, next fall, I will find a new soundtrack to throw on, so we can continue relaxing. Scoliosis. Ah. I see. So we're Richard the Thirding over here. That's as bad as watching something with guns in it with Phoenix Raider. He's such a gun nut, he will pause whatever we're doing to tell us random trivia about said guns. Let them have their fun. We're only on this earth for a tiny amount of time when you think about it. One day there'll come a time when you'd wish for just one more day of silly trivia. I was not expecting buff Lex Luthor in a loincloth climbing a mountain. Sadly, no, that is the literal title of the game, Bismarck. Too bad I'm too socially anxious to dump random Bionicle trivia on people. Alright. Okay then. Next decade, hit us up. Throw us your best Bionicle trivia. Once this music sting has passed. While Next Decade writes up Bionicle trivia, I will, a question for you in chat if you want. Has any movie or piece of media been irreparably changed for you after watching a parody of it? Made it so engaging and it immediately reminds you of the parody kind of ruining the moment. I cannot watch Lord of the Rings without giggling because of the Italian parody fandom. Unsuspecting Buck, thank you very much for the follow, pal. I know there was something that was ruined for me by a parody. I'm gonna have to come back to you on that one because I've in the moment forgotten what it was. I know I have at least one though. I also forgot to queue up a new soundtrack. Darn it. That's fine. That's too low. There we are. Much better. Practice Tai Chi. Rui of Mizu. I can't watch Sword. Do you know what? Rui, thank you. Thank you. That is mine. That is mine as well. Sword Art Online Abridged has destroyed Sword Art Online. For me. Sword Art Online Abridged is a piece of fucking art. And I love it. How dare you make me care about them? Exactly. Exactly, Megascommon. Hell, I can't remember when it was. I actually didn't realize that I'd started quoting it during a D&D session once. Where I just slid sideways into the whole business about, no, they're too concerned with the fact that you can wield two swords at the same time. Also, the fact that it arguably serves the plot better than the original, which kind of just peters out when anyone's asked for an explanation of anything, whereas even if it is wonky, the abridged at least tries to provide an explanation that still makes sense in the gaming industry. And then there's ghost stories. Yes, true, Megascommon. There is ghost stories. I don't think it counts as parody, but I would absolutely say that Invader Lum, or whatever it's meant to be called, if I ever tried to watch that, it would be ruined for me by the BBC dub. Like, the fact that there is an entire summoning sequence that goes wrong, and they immediately, these characters throw it out as just, oh, it must have been the harmony. Do not criticize my musical direction. Bionicle is the kind of franchise that I'm still in indecision about which piece of trivia to dump, because holy hell, there is a lot of weird stuff in it. Well, anything's better than Cad Icarus' summary of it, which is that we have these giant warriors who have to save the world from Gaddafi. That's just straight up not the plot of Bionicle. I think they're all on a giant Bionicle or something, I seem to recall, is part of the lore. Pterodax is more Putin, I see. The local equivalent of Satan invaded a deep-sea village with an army of crabs to chase the group of functional children that kicked its ass. That sounds like the level of petty of Sonic Boom. Your shoddy craftsmanship brings shame on all hedgehog kind. And for that, you must die. Yes, let us send crabs. Hang on a minute. I need to remember to put the soundtrack on. Okay. Calm and contemplative soundtracks. Does Wind Waker have any sailing music? Nope. That is way too energetic. Contemplative games. Chill music time? It's been chill music the whole time. It's just we run out of soundtrack after a while. I'm gonna throw in relaxing Twilight Princess music mix while I'm waiting. Okay, so here's a piece of trivia. Across the entire story, the main villain's plan actually succeeded. The mastermind's plan, with some wrinkles, went on without a hitch. Literally the only reason he ultimately died is that God, just barely, managed to have him stand in the exact right place so that he could be smashed in the head by a rogue moon. I'm so... That's beautiful. That's beautiful next decade. Look up and say what now? Oh, sorry, yes. And that was the Bionicle trivia for tonight. going with a bold strategy today. If I can go straight up in this line, I can get to the tree. There we go. My inhibitions give out if I start blurting Ace Combat trivia. Oh. You know, Ace Combat 7 is on sale at the moment, and I've looked at that periodically thinking, like, if I play this, how nuts will chat go? Because we've got a lot of Ace Combat 7... Oh, sorry, a lot of Ace Combat generally nuts in the chat. But I don't know if 7 is one of the sort of haha classic ones. Oh, you've hidden it. You've hidden the slippery rock behind a bush. I see. Okay. That's fine. We can work with it. Just reach down, grab your nads. There we are. Project Wingman for the sheer chaos of it. I would love to do Project Wingman. Absolutely. Ah, that's a shame. Okay. Seven is magnificent. Oh, okay. Because TV Tropes told me it wasn't the silliest of the series, and that worried me. Wow. Okay, that was a... that was a speedy fall. Much more than I was expecting. Also, I've never played a Zelda game before, but damn, this soundtrack is good. He says as it immediately starts fading out. Oh, come on. More! Okay, this I have absolutely heard in Zully the Witch's videos. I'm certain of that. Up. No. No. I want a piece. There we go.
My brain is wrinkling.
I mean, I would be surprised if anything wasn't wrinkling, given how much water is present here. Like, my man is going to be a prune by the time he gets up there. Another piece of trivia I just remembered. There's a character, Takua. He started out as a newcomer kid appeal character. One that hangs around the heroes mostly in secret and records their exploits for posterity. He is actually the oldest being in the world. He was the prototype that the people who made everyone in the world did first, before everyone else. He just suffered amnesia like 4 times. Fantastic. I confess I am a bit of a sucker for, like, massively immortal, unknowable being gets amnesia and becomes kind of slightly useless. I might kind of love that character archetype. To the extent, I seem to recall I made one of my rogues based on it. The idea that maybe I could drop down and grab it to break my fall, but I suppose there's not enough to grab really, is there? That's fine. I mean, realistically, I didn't think I was going to get past the warning sign jump, so we've made staggering progress. When you consider who's making it. Is it staggering progress for a world record holder? No. Is it staggering progress for a mortal man? Yes. Staggering progress for a mortal man who's good at video games? No. But I'm salt of the earth, you know? Moron. Suffering from amnesia, quote-unquote, is how the immortals of that world deal with immortality. Just forget events from a long time enough past, or ones that are traumatic enough. Yeah, I can see that. So instead, they just have a culture about recording absolutely everything in solid form. I can see it. I mean, we can't even get game preservation right, for goodness sake. Imagine if we had to actually hinge historical preservation a lot of the time. We're shit at that as well. If everybody got regularized amnesia, it'd be one hell of a time. Hello, Canthy. How you doing, dear? We're having a relaxing time and learning a little bit about Bionicle sometimes. Helping my neighbor move out. Oh, fair enough. How are they doing? They're doing okay? Moving is rough. Both physically, financially, and mentally. I understand I said both and then listed 3 things, but oh well. Not the end of the world. Get a good handful of bush. There we go. Let's grab a slice of toast. That's better. I'm sorry about this. Macarena. Macarena. Ace Combat 5 features the song Blurry by Puddle of Mud. Given the reputation that the main band's singer, the Ace Combat... Wait. When given the reputation of that band's main singer, the Ace Combat 5 thread on Something Awful is called Wes Scanlin's Run-Ins with Law Enforcement. Lovely. I must admit, though, I'm not a fan of this. Specifically, this every day is Arm Day approach this guy's gone for here. Like, it's fine and all, but he'll end up overdeveloped. And then he'll end up as one of those men with tiny little noodly legs. How are you feeling? Feeling a bit better since the Ultra Kill stream? It still comes and goes. Like, unfortunately, I think just because of where we are in the year and all that business, because I've got a lot of worries on the whole life front, just in general, I think that's going to be here to stay for at least a couple months. But it doesn't pop up out all the time. If you need someone to chat, let me know. That's very sweet of you, dear, but I'll only answer to it right out here and now. It's not something that really talking to people does anything about on that one, because it's kind of one of those ones where you just need to sort of just curl up in a ball and just be sad for a bit. That's okay. Just hanging out as a distraction. Distraction is good. Distraction is a fine habit, but sometimes there are some things you actually need to, like, process through and address. And irrepressible thoughts of death tends to be one of those, at least for me. It's going to be different for everybody, of course. Some people need to run from them. Some people need to process them. For me, I find it easier to deal once I've done some processing. For example, okay, what do I do with all this energy ricocheting around? Okay, I'll sit down, I'll take my phone out, and I'll record videos that just close some loops, answer some unanswered questions or whatnot, and leave them behind just on a file somewhere that if one day I'm gone suddenly, if I don't wake up one day, then there's answers there for people who loved me, or who I loved. And I know that one day, once this wave passes, it'll be a nice life-affirming experience on the other side. because I'll have been re-reminded all over again how grateful I am for everybody that makes my life my life. Meanwhile, Rocket, I shall ruminate on the best way to defeat the multiplayer super bosses in Verdict. Yes, exactly. Sometimes that's what you need to do with your life. Hell, during one of those ruminations back to Enter the Gungeon again, is how I finally beat the High Dragon. One of the bosses in that is particularly annoying. I had no idea how to beat him. Stumped me for years, it did. Sometimes you take a step back, think about things, process them through, and eventually you find a solution. And that's okay. And sometimes you get the momentum completely wrong. Because really that's all life is. A difficult game about climbing. The graphics are alright. Gameplay model kind of sucks. But sometimes it's all you got. You have no idea what the end game's like. Every 5 years or so they bring out a piece of DLC that makes your bones hurt a bit more. You wonder why the company behind it is doing this. But corporate entities never talk to anybody. I'm stuck in a bit of a similar mood. Mostly from the fact that my life has all but frozen solid for the last several years. I finished university, took a year to rest a bit from it, moved to my own apartment, was ready to start a life, get a job, and then suddenly my entire life was stopped in its wheels because of my country decided to play Conqueror. And now not only am I cut off from my planned source of income, having an official job, period, is currently a bad idea. I'm sorry to hear that next decade. It really is a fucking rough time all over for everybody, but some rougher than others at these present days. To each their own experiences, and relevant to the size and shape of their life in general. There are plenty of people who could come along and say that I've got nothing to complain about, but these are the biggest problems I've faced in my life. Same for you. Same for your country. Same for all these folks. I'm lucky that my family is willing to support me, and were the ones who actually told me that it's good I hadn't got an official job yet. But the ennui often gets to me. Oh, indeed. Oh, indeed. Whether we like it or not, sometimes we are not making pilgrimage, sometimes we are just dragged to the Jedi Temple of Ennui. And it really sucks. A couple of friends of mine have been going through that sort of stuff recently. Not the country level stuff, but just the ennui. One of them's trying to get into animation, just to give himself something to do. The other one's trying to write a novel. Honestly, I admire their spirit. Because I know that if the ennui ever set in like that, to that degree for me, I would not be able to. Symptomatic of how my brain's wired. Once it gets in a hole, it finds it hard to get out. think I'm gonna declare this run that starts here last run for a while. Then we'll switch and maybe do something else for a bit. We don't have to finish this now. It's fine. Fun game to kind of let your mind drift for a while. Exactly, Canthy. That's what I basically use them for. It's something to do. It's not... It's no StarCraft 2. Hey, there we go. It's not gonna consume you every moment while you're doing it. Dark Race. A corporation actions are normally driven to appease the entities known as shareholders. I love it. Beings that seem to draft Faustian bargains that worsen the goodwill and products of those that try to seemingly futile ritual. Sorvax, I get stuck in a mood every now and then. But even if I've improved a lot, my brain just goes, why didn't you do better? Oh, absolutely. I've spoken about this before, but my life and my family have always been raised on hard effort principles. As long as you tried your best, you did the most that you as a human can do, and you cannot do better. And thus, you should be able to walk away in the knowledge that you did all you could. And smile at that, at the very least. Even if you failed, you did the best you could. But, unfortunately, this has a dark side. After long enough of successes from hard effort, you end up forgetting that you can just still fail. Because sometimes the game was rigged from the start. Sometimes there never was any winning the game in the first place. Or sometimes, even just your best just wasn't good enough. But the dark side being that once you've been on a diet of success through hard effort for too long, rather than being able to classify it as those above, sometimes you just don't win, can't win them all, etc. It starts a little niggling sensation that says, did you really try enough? And then it brings up all the body of evidence of how you've been succeeding because you've been trying enough. And then it throws all of that at you and starts saying, well, clearly, the graph shows that if you failed, it means you didn't try enough. And as Next Decade says, you start trying to dig into yourself to see where you went wrong, even if there never was a going wrong. And it might have just been mere chance. Exactly. I can take this D20. Yes, I keep dice on my desk. It's the nice ones. It's the metal ones with the little Cthulhu hollow outs. I love them. I can take this dice and I can roll it. And it comes up at 19. And my brain, my dopamine goes, hey, I rolled well. And then I can roll it again. It comes up a 5. And my brain goes, I didn't roll well. It's like, what the hell? Like, unless you are some kind of, like, he gave me loaded dice, fucking Eldorado hustler on the streets. As far as I know, when you roll an equal dice, it's just gonna come up with something. It's got to come up with something. But rolling well, rolling badly? No. The whole point is it's random number generation. The only one that I can, to some degree, fudge the rolls on is my custom D20 that one of my old DMs made me. Where it's got, my character had a silver dragon-headed cane, and he found a chunk of silver, sheared and engraved it down to being a little miniature version of the dragon head, and embedded that in a resin D20 for me. I can cook the rolls on that a little bit, because it's obviously not quite evenly weighted, even though it looks cool as fuck. But, like, that's a rigged scenario. You can't always guarantee those. You didn't roll hard enough. Sure, if you would have done something different, you would have rolled at least a 10, which is better than a 5. Exactly, Canthe. But nuh-uh, that's not how dice work. Wait, silver dragon-headed cane? Oh yeah. No, my old bard, Treorin Diath, who was literally just Matt Mercer with elf ears, eventually, as part of his characterization, he got a silver dragon-headed cane, which I then bought in real life. I found a silver dragon-headed cane on eBay. Bought that, and then yeah, that just hangs out in my room, and it's a good memory of times gone by. And that's why Ed has a cane. And also, to be honest, I walk with a cane sometimes. if my back is giving me jip, or my leg just stops working, both of which do happen from time to time, then yeah, then I often sometimes actually need it. Although I do have better canes that are better to hold. And then sometimes, if it's a really bad day, then I have to upgrade to the the proper industrial, like, slot your arms through them and holding onto the bracing points so that you walk like R2-D2. If it's a really bad day, then I have to upgrade to those. Right. You know what? Let's keep these vibes but change game. I was going to change vibe and game, but let's only go halfway. Let's I love that it's listed as rage quit, but that's not what we're doing. Let's just quit. Like good old folks. I'm going to close the stream, and then I'm going to almost immediately reopen it with a different name. That's just so that it separates it out on YouTube. I'm not actually going anywhere. So if you give it like a minute and then refresh the page, we'll be in the right place. See you in a